If your Sundays involve throwing your beer at the TV, kicking the dog, or wondering why you spent your hard-earned money to dress like a goddamn tropical fish, congratulations! You're a fan of the Miami Dolphins football team, and this series is your group therapy. Or maybe, just maybe, it's the expos they don't want you to see. Over the next 5 episodes, we're going to investigate a crucial question that haunts every Dolphins fan. Are the Miami Dolphins actually cursed? Or is something more sinister at play? We Dolphins have endured years of heartbreak, false hope, and glorious ineptitude. At some point, you have to ask, is this just bad luck? Or something darker? A hidden hand, perhaps? Are the Miami Dolphins actually cursed? Or is the curse just a convenient narrative we use to explain the cyclical nature of sports, misery, and keep us distracted? So, like a good fan with maybe a few too many late nights researching, I went looking for answers. What I found was a saga of bizarre, tragic, and hilariously sad moments. A decades-long odyssey of dysfunction and disappointment that feels engineered, and by the end, calling it a curse might actually be letting them off easy. It's almost as if someone wants us to fail. For starters, and I wish I were joking, this so-called curse might have supernatural roots. In true poltergeist fashion, Hard Rock Stadium, as reported in the Ocala Star, was built on sacred Native American burial grounds.
You son of a bitch, you moved the cemetery, but you left the bodies, didn't you? You son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones!
I'm serious, it's not just a rumor, it's out there. There's even a documentary about it, go check it out. They tried to bury this information, but the truth always finds a way. So yeah, right off the bat, I already have a strong suspicion this curse might be real. Or, at the very least, it's a convenient cover story for what's really going on. But, first, we need to go back a little bit. Back when the Dolphins weren't NFL's punchline. Actually, they were NFL royalty. From 1970 to 1985, no team in sports had a better winning percentage. Not one. They were winning, and winning consistently. Almost too consistently. Led by the legendary Don Shula, the winningest coach in NFL history. And in the 80s, by Dan freaking Marino, the human cannon who made Third and Forever look like a check down. Back then, it didn't matter who we were playing. If Marino was under center, you always felt like we had a shot. No lead was too big. No game was unwinnable. We were relevant. We were contenders. Marino made it to the Super Bowl in '84 when he could barely shave, producing a magical season where he didn't just break records, he shattered them. And even though we lost that game, we didn't worry. It was obvious this kid was going to be back, again and again. He was that good. But then, the curse of the Dolphins reared its ugly head.
Joe, next year, I'm buying.
Marino never made it back to the big game. Think about it. What kind of demonic curse, or calculated sabotage, gives you the greatest quarterback of all time, only to surround him with no running game and a defense made of Swiss cheese? We wasted Marino, flat out. And if that's not the work of some angry football god, or a shadowy cabal trying to keep us down, I don't know what is. By the time that dominant defense of Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor, Sam Madison, and Pat Surtain burst onto the scene, the offense had vanished like your second sock in the dryer. From 1995 to 2023, the Dolphins never had a top 10 offense and defense in the same season. Not once. Complementary football. The Dolphins have never heard of it. Most years, we didn't even crack the top 20 on either side. That's nearly 30 years of watching one unit fight for its life, while the other chases butterflies. It's the kind of fan hell that makes you want to yank your nose hairs out, one by one. So, the stage was set. A legendary team, a Hall of Fame quarterback, and a cosmic inability to put it all together. But was this just the start of some bad luck, or was the curse actively fed by decades of incompetence? Or perhaps, an agenda? In the next episode, we explore real moments from Dolphins history that'll convince you curses aren't just real, they've got season tickets in Miami. Make sure you're like and subscribe so you don't miss it. Until then, stay strong, Dolph fans.